home should be a place of refuge, a place where you feel safe and secure.
Some people say living in the Life O'Reilly Mobile Home Park in South Lansing is anything but.
Emerald Morrow has more from a few people in that community who say they're tired of living in fear and shameful conditions.
For some, living at Life O'Reilly is a struggle.
The lack of snow removal, frequent sewage backups, overflowing in the yards.
Look at this, look at it.
Drug deals going down in the streets. There's been meth houses. There's still branches down from the ice storm.
Do you feel safe there?
No, I do not feel safe at all.
Several residents came to us in fear, fearing for their safety, fearing for their lives.
The people that live there are really poor and they don't have anywhere else to live. So they're afraid to complain because then they'll get kicked out.
We tried to reach management about the problems, but the manager said she had no comment and hung up the phone. Well, Jane, people living there have just 10 days to leave, but many are scared because they say they don't have anywhere else to go. Now, we were there this morning as officials with the health department condemned the property and walked door to door to notify people. Some welcomed the news and said the place should have been shut down long ago, but many others were frightened and fearful of what will happen next. Ingham County officials say a move like this is unprecedented, that this is the first time they've done anything like this on a scale this size in the area.
I mean, it's just ridiculous how we have to live. This is not human-like.
I mean,
Shocked, angry, and confused, people living in a South Lansing mobile home park feel all those emotions and wonder where to go after the county condemns the property. This morning, the Ingham County Health Department condemned the property, saying the problems with raw sewage and solid waste are causing a public health threat.
These are problems that Emerald Morrow first told you about last week, and this morning she was there as people got the bad news.
Step by step, knock by knock, door by door. Raw sewage, feces throughout the property, problems with the water supply, health hazards that forced county health officials this morning to shut the Life O'Reilly Mobile Home Park down. Officials say the people living in this park have just 10 days to pack up and move out, but many of those people say they are not sure where they're going to go.
Where do these people go from here?
Lansing officials held a meeting this afternoon at Cristo Rey Church to try and answer that question, and Nick Perot was at the meeting. He joins us now live from Cristo Rey. And Nick, what options are available for those Life O'Reilly residents?
Well, Greg and Jane, they spent the last 3 hours from about 2 to 5 trying to figure out options for these people.
Those who live in the Life O'Reilly Mobile Home Park now have 9 days to move out after the health department condemned the property earlier Tuesday morning, citing dangerous health issues. Nick Perot was at that meeting, and Nick, did they get the answers they were looking for?
Well, Greg, Jane, one answer that sure received a warm applause was the word that housing is available. Lansing Housing Commission says between townhomes and single homes, 17 are ready to move in, with 19 more that could be ready in a few weeks. And the good news, those from Life O'Reilly will only be charged 30% of their monthly income. For some, that's as low as $50 a month.
Thanks. Well, local and state agencies aren't the only ones lending a helping hand to those at Life O'Reilly Mobile Home Park.
The Homeless Angels group in Lansing headed to the park early this morning, and they say they will help out any way they can until everyone has a warm place to stay.
Today, members handed out business cards with local agency contacts, went door to door delivering food and clothes, anything that they could help. And in one case, they were able to help one woman find a permanent home. And just 10 days ago, health officials told residents of the Life O'Reilly Mobile Home Park their homes were being condemned and they had to leave. Tonight, they say their final goodbyes. It's our top story at 5. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. I'm Greg Adeline. Jane is off this evening. We begin with the very latest on the Life O'Reilly Mobile Home Park. Last month, the park was condemned. Authorities say that today is the last day for people living there to move out. 6 News reporter Joe Khalil joins us now live from Life O'Reilly off of Washington, where residents are preparing to leave if they haven't already. And Joe, what's it like out there right now?
Granted, the conditions were bad. That's why the county came and closed it. But these people are now having to say goodbye to a place that many of them called home for years, in some cases decades. Now, this place was supposed to be clear by 5 o'clock today. We've been told that deadline has been pushed to midnight.
Now, as of midnight, I will be homeless because they are shutting down the trailer park. I'm just stressed out because of everything that's happened.
Where are you going to sleep tonight?
That I have no idea.
It has been an emotional day for residents as many families spent the last 10 days searching for a place to stay. Our Savannah Ciavata spoke to residents making their final preparations to leave the park.
April Foster and her family are saying goodbye to a place they called home for 46 years.
There's so many memories here. We used to have so many families that we did stuff together.
Foster was visiting her daughter in Texas when she heard about the mobile home park closing. They traveled for days to make it back as soon as they could, but are now stuck with the daunting task of moving in this cold.
Lansing's fire department says a fire in the Riverview Estates mobile home park that destroyed one home looks to be an accident.
Tonight, our Nick Perot spoke with the owner, who says rebuilding will be tough, but he feels fortunate to have survived.
Everybody's going to think that I died in this thing.
Luckily, Rick Horton is okay after a fire ripped through his mobile home. He says shortly after 5, he started to boil some water and went to shave.
Turned around and looked at the water that was warm, and next thing I knew, I was in a bomb of fire.
A fire that Horton says literally blew him out the door.
The dogs fortunately followed me, apparently, and Peanut went the other way.
Horton lost his 6-year-old cat, Peanut, along with everything else he's owned, his clothes and his trailer.
I borrowed about $1,000 to move, and I don't have any money left.
That's right. The disabled vet just moved his trailer last week out of Life O'Reilly Mobile Home Complex, his home for 10 years. The county health department condemned the mobile home park for sewage concerns.
Rick Horton called Life O'Reilly Mobile Home his home for 10 years, but moved out after Ingham County shut it down in late February because of some health violations. Then, just days later, Rick lost his home and everything he owned, including his cat, in an accidental fire. But tonight, as Nick Perot explains, his search for a new home is finally over.
It's a small duplex.
For the last week and a half, Rick Horton
My name's Mikey.
and his 2 dogs lived here with his mom and aunt after an accidental fire destroyed his mobile home earlier this month.
It's just a matter of trying to find some place to live.
Well, little did he know today his new home would come to him.
Got your motorhome.
Is that right, Dave?
Yep. It's perfect mechanical.
Courtesy of this Marine vet who says he's getting a new one and is simply paying it forward.
Well, the ongoing saga for some displaced Lansing residents continues tonight. One woman is among those who had to move away from the Life O'Reilly mobile home park in Lansing after the health department shut it down in February. Well, tonight, Nick Perot says that she's almost more upset about what happened since moving out.
All boarded up. You'd think this is the last place someone would look to steal something.
My daughter will bring up, oh, now that, you know, we have nice weather, can I ride my bike? And I have to tell her, no, we don't have a bike for you no more.
Tara DeNike says she just bought her daughters Heather and Kara, 3 and 6, bikes last Christmas. They were left here in their shed after being forced out of their mobile home complex last month. That is until a friend called her with the bad news.
She called me and asked if I gave the 2 ladies permission to be on my property because they had told her that they had permission from me to be there to get stuff off the property.
DeNike says she doesn't know either of these women, 55-year-old Nancy Whitby or 60-year-old Catherine Lynn Jackson.
That's right. When I interviewed the owner, he told me he was making all the necessary repairs to keep the park open and was shocked to see it closed. But he had no idea I followed his nearly 2-year paper trail to health officials and contractors that shows he was well aware of the park's problems and the county's demands to make changes.
Frequent sewage backups. Overflowing in the yards.
Look at this. Look at it.
Drug deals going down in the streets.
Now look at this mess.
I don't believe that we should have to live this way.
We're giving out 10-day notice.
By now, you've probably heard the background. The Ingham County Health Department condemned the Life O'Reilly mobile home park in February.
Raw sewage on the ground, that's a public health threat.
Giving more than 200 residents just days to pack up and get out.
And they wait until the last minute to give us 10 days. It's bitter cold. There's like 3 feet of snow out there.
After giving owner William Whalen of New York and manager Steve Ramirez of Florida almost 2 years worth of notices, letters, and warnings with a list of improvements to bring the park up to code.
The rumor and innuendo to say that there's raw sewage on the ground going all over,
we simply didn't find it.